Wow. Talk about finding a unicorn. Well, after months of looking, finding 3, everybody tell me to go away, and then finally getting lucky with a very nice gentleman in England on the other side of the planet, and then dealing with 2 weeks of hell with customs, it appears it has arrived, and if all goes according to plan, inside this box should be a Washburn N8. Looking at this ad, it definitely brings up sentimental childhood, teenage values, and when I finally decided to try to track an N8 down, I knew from the very get-go how challenging it would be. The stupid thing is so rare that when you Google it, nothing even really pops up except for a few pictures and the ad. There's 2 on Reverb that sold years ago, and that's about it. Nothing on eBay. And even the Facebook Washburn N8 owners group only has about 15 members. So at this point it became more about, all right, can we actually track this damn thing down? So naturally I decided to do what any normal human being would do with respect for logic, is try to reach out to the 3 owners that are online and see if maybe one of them would be so kind to sell me theirs. The first one I found was this one. Super cool guy named Sebastian in Germany, and of course I reached out to him and asked him if he would like to sell me his N8, to which he replied determined not to give up. I started to become creative. I reached out to the owner of this one, super nice guy named David. This time we're in France, and I actually asked if maybe he would be so kind to contact the buyer that had bought it from him, because maybe it's a few years later now and he might be bored of it and would like to get rid of it. And David was super nice and reached out to the store. They contacted the owner got in touch with David, and David asked the owner if he would be so kind to sell me his N8. The owner replied Now I was 2 strikes deep, heading for my 3rd potentially. This time the journey brought me to Brazil. Super nice guy named Herlon. And the gentleman for a moment considered, but then probably did what any normal human being would have done and decided not to sell. He didn't give me an evil laugh, he didn't have to. The Joker was so deep in my mind at this point, I could just see him and hear him in my own mind. Could it really be that this was going to be one of those stories where the answer is so simple and in front of your face from the get-go? Maybe Nuno himself will sell me one of the 2 that he owns. Well, I contacted his manager and asked him, and I was like, hey man, I'd love to have an N8, fulfill a childhood kind of nostalgic dream. Would Nuno maybe part with one of his N8? The answer was very simple. I was really stuck at this point. What made it worse, and even harder than it had to be, is that there's 0 information about the guitar online. I tracked down 2 different people that worked in Chicago custom shop at the time, and even they had varying information on the guitar. Some people say 20 were made, others say around 20 were made, and this one gentleman insisted only 14 were made. I didn't know where to go at this point. I was ready to give up when a friend through a Facebook group out of nowhere sends me a video from a bootleg recording of Extreme, July 3rd, 1995, during their Waiting for the Punchline tour, and he tells me to fast forward through the 1 hour and 16 minute mark, and sure enough, Nuno plays his N8 for like 10 minutes straight. Here's a 1-minute clip. I thought I uploaded for you because I think you will thoroughly enjoy this. Not only did they sound amazing, and I personally love the Punchline period, but he actually plays an N8, which is incredible. And this might be probably the only video I know of him playing it. Check it out. This inspired me to give it one more shot. I went back into the Nuno groups, and sure enough, after a couple hours of digging, deep down in some comment section from 3 years ago, a gentleman states, "I have one as well. It's in storage. I wouldn't mind selling it." Bam. I couldn't even believe I found that comment, and like a frantic child, I started messaging the guy right away. I even tried to find mutual friends. Of course, we had none. He was in Bristol, in England, in the Bristol area. Wonderful, nice gentleman. And finally, he messaged me back, and just a little sign of hope kind of, gave me a second wind. He did mention that the guitar was in storage, and he would go maybe in a week or so to dig it out. And as you can imagine, at this point, every hour started feeling like a month. And sure enough, he sent some pictures over. He did explain that the guitar had been in storage for pretty much its whole life. One time it came out, and a friend brought it to Singapore because Nuno was there doing a clinic, and he had it signed, and then it kind of went back into storage, and it probably had some, accumulated dust. I didn't care. It was wonderful. He even sent me a wonderful letter explaining, the details of how he acquired it, and that maybe it was time to let it go. He gave me a very fair price, and before you knew it, it was on UPS International, being shipped to Los Angeles. Enjoy the unboxing. All right, let's unpack this thing. As you can tell, the package took quite a bit of a beating from all the travel overseas. Let's hope the guitar is okay. And another step closer. So oh boy, the nerves are really, really high now. Here we are. As you know, I always do this in real time, but I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those, man, I've never even seen one in real person, so this is, and of course I have it upside down, I just noticed, so. Wow, of course the original case. Man, wow, no, I did have it the right way, I guess, so. Okay, as you can tell, it's been a few sleepless nights, so the idea is, we know it's been sitting in storage forever, so the idea is that it goes to Seth Meyer tomorrow for, fret, dress, and all that stuff. Like I said, there's probably rust all over this thing, but without further ado, yeah, that's strange, the hinge is upside down. All right, guys, well, this is it. Wow. Exactly as the gentleman said, like new. It still has the plastic on here, look. Yeah, he never even took the plastic off. The frets are exactly as on the pictures there. They're literally rusted from the guitar sitting around for almost 30 years, well, 26 years now, isn't it? 1995, so. Wow, let me take this bubble wrap off. I just took the wrap off and haven't even taken it out yet. Now, if you're wondering, I asked the gentleman to keep it the way it is, like with the original strings. As you can tell, they're so fragile. I can literally break them. This one is already, and it was like that when the gentleman sent me the picture. I asked for it to stay that way because I'm gonna there's nothing to restore. It's really polishing the frets, polishing the hardware, and the thing is like new. But what you're seeing is literally strings that are probably older than some people watching this. So we have the case here, just the original paperwork and stuff. But let's take the sucker out, man. Oh my God, wow. This is, this is surreal. This is really, really, really a effing surreal experience. Man, look at that wood grain. Not even play wear on it, nothing. Zero. I mean, this literally needs to be polished. Wow. Still has the plastic on it. Bought and stored away, and just, you look at the frets, brand new. And this one's signed, believe it or not. So, yeah. In 2005, the gentleman was in, oh boy, Australia or Singapore, I believe. And he had the guitar brought from England so that he could get it signed while Nuno was doing a clinic. Look at that grain. Look at the... It's funny, that neck is flamed here, which is gorgeous. Look at that grain, just stunning. Oh my God, just zero wear on it. Wow. That is, I tell you. The way the serial reads is, yeah, 95, August, number 14 of 20, and 2 for the double neck. So they're both identical, as you can tell. Wow. So here's another cool video before it goes back in the case to go to Seth tomorrow. Just incredible, I'm telling you. It's, man, when this thing is cleaned up, it's gonna be just incredible. As you can tell, just brand new, not even play where they're nothing. I mean, wow. And also probably grain-wise, one of the nicest ones I've seen. But yeah, it's useless in its current state with respect to, just obviously needs to be completely restrung. I mean, look how all these strings are. This is so cool. And then it's incredible too how solid this thing feels. So you can easily pick it up by like one neck, and just gorgeous wood grain choices. Just a flamed neck on this is stunning. All right, on to Seth it goes. We'll see in a week when we get it back. It is a great day. It's now 3 days later, and I just picked up the guitar from Seth. Seth Meyer. Not much more I need to say. And let's bring it home and see what he did. Frets should be like new. Very excited. All right, so we are home, and again, forgive my noise in the background. They're working on the house, but this is really cool. We're actually opening it for the first time after it being set up and attended to, and call it 26 years, and it's just freaking awesome. So, oh, wow. He even slightly waxed a little bit. He said the wood was perfectly sealed, nothing, no neck warp, no nothing. It just tells you the build quality back in the day, how they used to build them. Obviously, especially something this expensive and limited. I'm going to slightly polish the hardware. I asked him actually not to do it because I really enjoyed the kind of natural VOS, just like on the kind of like 59 Les Paul reissues. I purposely asked him not to polish those because they're actually fine, but this is true, genuine 26-year-old aging. Of course, the frets he had to, and obviously that's a no-brainer. So look at that. Oh man. Yeah, he said this guitar is maybe what, 30 minutes playtime on it. So of course he nourished the ebony. Look at those frets, they look like a freaking mirror. And yeah, just oh my goodness, this is... Honey, come real quick, look at this while I'm filming. Come check this out. Even my better half here was saying how cool this is.
Oh my gosh, wow, what a change.
Look at it. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Just gave it a little bit of treatment on the body for the wood to pop, even though it's kind of already sealed and finished. But it just, I don't know if you used bee wax, whatnot, maybe a little bit, but look at the frets. See how you got them all to be shiny again? Remember how they were all kind of dull and oxidated? And here, let's see the back. This is, exactly, thanks, babe. Just hold it real quick like that while it leans. Just absolutely incredible. Just a grain on the neck too. It's just absolutely flawless. So yeah, I think it's time to, thanks babe. I think it's time to plug her in. Seth actually, it took him a moment to figure out the wiring on this damn thing. It's actually really weird and unique, and it kind of makes sense, but even with his experience, it still took him a moment. So you have these, this little switch that goes 3 ways, which of course you would think goes between the N4, both N4 on the top, and then both together, and then the top 12 string. But then you also have this push-pull. As you can see right there, feels top quality. And you see when you're down, actually, only the Bill Lawrence works. So the other pickups don't work at all. That's on purpose. So you can just play rhythm freely without anything. And when you, I think, if I remember correctly, I'm purposely doing this to just kind of see how it gels when I plug it in. When you enable this, now this actually works between the 3 guitars. And then also the different pickups work. So you actually have both enabled. And then when you're on the top, then the pickup switch does just on the top guitar, of course, right? But when you're here, just on the bottom guitar, and this is down, you actually only have the Bill Lawrence, which is very interesting and unique and kind of makes sense, because that means you just want to, you know, don't have to worry about any interference from playing rhythm. And rhythm is what you play 90% of the time. So incredibly unique and kind of makes sense. So what I'm actually going to do, believe it or not, is I'm going to, like a lot of people with 12, or double necks, I should say, I'm going to restring this just as a regular 6 string and detune it to like an open tuning or an E flat. So that way I have both easily accessible for the, you know, if I need an E flat or something, or maybe a tuning for another song when I play it live, because I do want to play this damn guitar live. But what a beauty, and I'm sure you won't mind me taking an extra little time, because like I said, these are so rare. It's just a stunning piece. And here, I'll take it out again just to let's put it over here. Just such a stunning guitar, so rare, so hard to find. You know what? I'm finally going to do this, believe it or not. And I'm going to do it with you all. It's time. It is. I know half the people are going to be like, no. And I'm like, no, dude, they're meant to be played. Here we go. Now it's official. It's actually finally fucking unwrapped. So yeah, just look at this. I mean, wow. Yeah, this is cool stuff. This is really, really cool stuff. God, the neck is completely untouched. Look at that beautiful flame. Yeah, very unique system with these tuners. I'm obviously going to put in Dunlop. Actually, they might be in already. Let me check. You know what? I have a belt right here. Are those strap locks in already? That came with it? Nope. I thought they were. They look very similar to the Dunlop strap locks, so I'm definitely going to put those on. I'm going to take a video too of just kind of opening the plate, see what it looks like underneath. It looks like I'm missing a screw, I'm noticing, so let's check it out. Let's open it up. So as promised, I wanted to take off the back plates real quick to look at the wiring. And what's so interesting, I just noticed these are actual metal which is very interesting. So that's kind of cool. Interesting, kind of. And then here, obviously the bottom is basically a regular N4, right? I'm probably going to replace this with a brass. This is regular switch system, but then here you can tell just the okay, I can't speak. Incatrice. What? Intricacies. Okay, I'm a total foreigner, I admit, man. I speak 5 languages, but I can't do it. Yeah, give me just 10 seconds. That's why we make this so organic. I'm going to keep this in the video because this is a total fop moment. Intricacies. Is that it? Intricacies. By the way, look at that flamed neck. You can really see it in the sun now. Those are usually hard to... Oh, this is just... I'm totally geeking out, man. Look at that grain. But this is where you can tell the intricacies. This is where you can tell the intricacies of the wiring. Actual little old school switchboard there. And this is really cool. The actual serial on there as well. 95, August, 14 out of 20. And 2 for the double neck. So again, really, really cool. And we're going to plug it in and try to make sense of it. Again, there's a very specific use that you would have for this. Of course, it's all about the collector's thing aspect of it. But I'm just going to go have another drink and learn English. I thought you might appreciate this shot real quick because it's a really, really cool shot. Just it's those swing arm stand, swing arm stands, which are really, really cool. And you can kind of rotate the guitar however you want, you know, and it's super safe. So it's just just such a cool sight. It's just really, really, really cool. You can kind of tilt it, and it's you know, the damn thing is so heavy. So, but there you go. Let's go from the. There you go. Just looks super cool, doesn't it? I want to show you that shot real quick on kind of how nice, you know, a guitar makes your wall look, you know. Isn't that cool? Hey guys, so I just wanted to give you a real quick, I'm plugging it in now for the first time, and I'm like I mentioned earlier, I'm actually going to use this on stage and live, and I will not be doing the 12-string neck here. You might think that's crazy because it's supposed to be, but not really. You see, my need is that I'm probably going to have this in an open tuning, so because I have certain songs that are in open tuning, and then I can use this in a regular manner N4. But before I, you know, now that Seth set it up, of course, the way it's supposed to be, and before I get rid of the 12 strings, I just wanted to show you real quick, you know, what it sounds like. It would actually have to be like this. Of course, I'm giving you, you know what. But let me show you the wiring real quick. I'm not a big fan of 12 string sound anyway. But first and foremost, the N4, what's really cool is, I mean, I'm calling the bottom the N4. You instantly feel that 1994, 95 Chicago custom shop vibe. It's just that nice round neck, you know, the frets, everything is so nostalgic, like, because, you know, I own a couple 94s and 95s, so it instantly has that, you know, just that familiar, all too familiar 94, 95 Chicago custom, or sorry, just Chicago feel to it as it is. But check out the wiring. So I'll have my beautiful wife here just kind of film this part here. So when you are, this is a push-pull. I want to show you this before I, you know, take the 12 strings off, and then you know, we'll do a real sound test. This is a push-pull. So when you have this down, okay, the regular bottom N4 plays. However, the pickup switches don't do anything. And you might be like, well, is that a mistake or not? No, that's on purpose, because the way Nuno wanted it, it actually makes total sense. When you have it down here and the volume up, the little switch which goes between the two necks doesn't do anything, as you can tell. And why is that? That's because when you're down here, and that's exactly actually the way I would want it too, you want to worry about rhythm. And remember, rhythm is really what you play 90% of the time, right? You know, you solo 10% of the time, but you play rhythm most of the time. So when you're here, or whatever the hell you're doing, right? So you don't want to accidentally hit that. See, it doesn't do anything. And that way, what that allows you to do is just have a regular N4 here, just a regular guitar, not having to worry about anything, accidentally hitting, you know, the 12 string, because this can get very, very noisy. And it's also the reason why I don't really have I have an acoustic 12 string if I need it. So I'm going to probably put this as an open tuning. Now, once you engage the push-pull, now you're active all over the place. Now you really got to know what it is you're after. So, and now the pickup switch also works depending where you are here. So the little toggle switch here, of course, rotates between N4, N4, I'm going to call this N8, even though, you know, just to kind of split it up. And then on the top, of course, only the 12 string, the N8. So let's call this N4, N8. So once this push-pull is engaged, so now let's go to the N4. The N8 is still disengaged. Yeah, nothing there. But the pickup switch now works on the regular N4. And I'm sorry about, these are brand new strings. As you know, I just picked it up from setup. I'm going to tune it later. I just want to show you the wiring. You know how it is when you pick up a guitar from your tech. It's slightly out of tune because the strings are so new. So now this is a regular N4. This doesn't do anything. Now if I go to the middle here, I should have both. Yeah, I get both now. And then I go to the middle pickup here. Correct, and here. Correct, so this is really unique. This is if you want to do maybe some kind of Steve Vai thing, you know, where you're hitting an open tuning and then you solo here, you know, you're kind of... that kind of, you know, I'm just doing nonsense. So here, of course, you have both now with each pickup actually engaging. Remember, 59 JB, Bill Lawrence, and 59 here. Now, if you go up here, you just have the 12 strings. So now you can go do your whatever. Of course, I'm going to give you some. Here's the bridge. So there you go. So pretty cool. So, and I actually do want to have a parts of my set where I have it on both, but I want to be able to hit this in an open tuning to kind of do a little bit of a, you know, of a gimmick, if you will. But that's pretty much the wiring. And what I really like about this, what's so unique is that when you are down here, when you have this in, this is kind of disengaged and only the bottom N4 is on. So it took Seth, you know, my tech, a moment to grasp it, but it actually makes total sense because even when you're using this as a gimmick on stage, you're probably still going to be 80-90% on the actual, call it N4 on the bottom. So that kind of explains that. Again, I'll give you a couple more sounds real quick on the 12 string because I am going to change this right now to a 6 string and just do a custom tuning on it. But sounds very nice if you kind of like that choiry, you know, kind of 12 string. You know, it's already out of tune, as you can tell. Like I said, the strings are so new on it. These are the fine tuners right here. And again, a very unique system. You have to kind of put the string in there, lock it in, and then you tune it here. And of course, with a 12 string, it's such a freaking headache keeping it in tune. What I'm going to do is actually go reverse. As you can see, the ball points go in here for the actual strings. And what I'm going to do is take this all off and then run the regular strings right here, which is beautiful body through, so it makes it like a fixed bridge, and then tune them up here and just make this a regular 6 string because that's actually why I wanted a double neck in the first place, is so I can run 2 6 strings at the same time. in my own tuning. But I hope that helps. You know, like you can tell, I'm geeking out. But and you know what? If there is a time for a 12 string on the top, then I'll, you know, just add the other 6 strings on. But I probably wouldn't use an electric 12 string much, because if you're gonna go the 12 string route, the acoustic sounds so much better. Not that this sounds bad. Actually, in the middle position, it's really, yeah, not very usable. Like, if you're gonna do anything 12 string, you probably 99% of the time gonna go acoustic, you know. But the middle position is actually really nice. You know, so there you have it. So let's go mod it now to our needs, and more importantly, do what this freaking thing was. Put this thing to use. Do with this thing what it was intended to be done with. You know, play it and customize it, and actually finally put it in the wild. So see you in a few. Well, there you have it, guys. That was the Washburn N8 overview. I hope for the 20 people that will be watching this, you enjoyed it. So yeah, it's on the wall, and I'm enjoying it. And more importantly, rather than, you know, going into sound tests and all of that, I mean, we all know what an N4 sounds like. The next video I'm going to upload is hopefully going to be one of me playing it live. You know, we're still in COVID, so I'm trying to see when the next show is going to be booked. But when it is, I can pretty much assure you that this will be part of the repertoire, and then I will you know, upload a video of an N8 on YouTube actually being played in a live setting. I hope you enjoyed this. I took you know, extra time on purpose because this stuff is so rare, you know, not a video on it out there. So I wanted to just, you know, give you 30-40 minutes of just the video on the guitar, because it's so hard to find stuff on it. Feel free to message, leave comments. And again, for the 20 of you that watched this, I hope you enjoyed it. Stay safe out there, and I can't wait to, you know, show you more on this beautiful guitar once I get to actually, you know, test it out in the wild, and then I'll make a separate video about that. Love you all, stay safe out there, and see you soon.